مسابقة يعني شو بيقولوا full down ball. Yeah. Mr. Ray, Mr. Mark, and Ms. Patricia, thanks a lot for financial support of the Orchard Rehabilitation Development Project in Takhar City and other districts of Takhar province. As you see, we are now on the project. We came through very far away, very difficult ways. The roads are very unpaved, very difficult to camp, and we came from Peshawar, experiencing much difficulty. But anyway, we had to present to you something documentarily so that you get satisfied that the project is implemented. And the first thing we have to do is to show you whether there is any change in the feature of the nursery project itself. As you see, last year there was too many fruit trees, more than 100,000 fruit trees just in these plots. Maybe you can compare these two films. Last year we prepared a film for you from this project. Now you can see so much spaces vacated from fruit trees. All of them were taken to the villages and they are transplanted in the farmers' orchards and houses. And you feel that here it was more than 200,000 fruit trees, but now you see there is no walnut. It's completely vacated. It's newly planted by peaches. Last year there was no peach. Here in this plot was apple. In the front of us it was walnuts. They were very huge trees, very large. And from the other fraction you may see that the walnut trees are thinned out. Too many walnut trees are picked up and they are transplanted elsewhere. If you go inside, you will see there are much space between fruit trees, since large fruit trees are taken out from the nursery, from walnut nursery. And there was thousands walnut trees. They were very huge. They were ready for transplantation, but now you see there is no much fruit trees. They are much elevated. Last year we had maybe 50% of the walnut trees were above 3 meters, but now you see there are few fruit trees walnuts. They are 3 meters. They are small, since the large ones are taken by the people. There were much demand for walnuts, but this walnut would have been utilized in other provinces, including Takhar, but there was some war crisis in Kunduz, unfortunately, during the implementation of the project. Then the activity was altered and we could not utilize all of these trees. Here in this block, you see, if you remember this stream or stream of water, you see here, this was a good sign of two sides. You see here too much walnuts. On the other side there was maybe 30 or 40,000 peaches. Here there was 15,000 apples. Here was too many apples, maybe 5 or 6,000. There was grapes, but you can see plainly that there is no fruit tree here. This is vacated, and if you compare two cassettes, one I prepared last year and one is now, you see a very sharp change in the feature of the project. You see there is no fruit tree now. You see what happened to these fruit trees. They are transplanted, they are taken by our employees to villages. It is orchards are mapped and transplanted for the farmers. People of the region are very happy, believe it or not. they are very, very happy. They are expressed their good views about IDAP and our care. They finance this project. They everybody in this province are very happy. Maybe they will send to you some cordial letter that thanks a lot for this financing this project. You will see that letter maybe a few weeks later. And this is the sign. This is the direct proof of the implementation of the project. But what can we do about these? The remainder, we had 12,000, 1,002,000 fruit trees in this nursery. But now they are utilized 300,000 or 320,000 like this. But the remainder is left. Still, the people need your cooperation, and so that we can transplant, we can transport to villages, to other provinces, and we transplant. This project has much tremendous impact on the life situation of the people in Afghanistan. You see, these walnuts, almonds, apples, and dried apricots, these are the main important exporting commodities in Afghanistan. Believe it or not, if we are able to transplant these fruit trees in Afghanistan, then after 10 years, for sure, it will have very, very tremendous impact on the economic situation of the people, farmers, and other families. This is not a joke, this is a fact. If you come and contact people, they will tell you the impact of these projects. We had 3 fields of almonds. You can compare these two. One is in front of us, you see, after walnut, it is very high. That is not utilized this year. They are left, they are very huge. But in this field, beside that wall, you see, they are, most of fruit trees are utilized, they are thinned out. Now we will go down and we'll show you what has happened there. Too much fruit trees are taken, and all fruit trees that are taken, they were like these fruit trees now you see, peaches. Some peaches are, can be seen here. Here in this field, the apricot can be seen there, the peaches. Fruit trees that we distributed were had that much size. They were very huge, and if we had not transplanted these peaches, then we will have much problem next year. None of them will have grown. But now we have here that no fruit tree is dried. Any fruit tree that is transplanted in Takhar or other districts of Takhar province, all of them are positive results, and people are very happy. Now they see these technically designed orchards, and there are too many families. They are very happy from us since we have given fruit trees they have transplanted in their house yard. And believe it or not, there are around 1,670 orchards constructed in either they are transplanted in houses or house yards, or they have made very huge orchards. The largest orchard they are made in Takhar province is around 20 acres. To the smallest, that is 1 jirib. And further smaller, they have planted 1 or 2 or 3 fruit trees in the houses. And this is the result of our project that you see. There are too many fruit trees are displaced from the project. They are not here, and the place of them are replanted with peaches, and some of them they were not able. We didn't have money to replant. You see that peach orchard, the peach nursery, that's empty. That's just growths are growing. So we didn't have money to replant, but here they have replanted anyway, new peach plantations. And hopefully next year they will be distributed to the people, either grafted or ungrafted. If we budget is applied to us during this August, some institution pay us, then we will graft these new groups. Otherwise they will be left like this. Still there is much demand for the people. There is much demand for these fruit trees. People will ask us for these fruit trees. Believe us that too many people are coming here and asking for fruit trees, and our employees are going to the villages and they are collecting the name of the people, registering people, the candidates for the next step of the project that we will implement in September, October, and November. Hopefully, we will bring all the equipment and these chemical sprayers, everything here, and we have purchased too many equipment, including these pruning shears and other equipment. Then utilizing these equipment, we will implement the remainder part of the project. And our employees are ready to do any effort concerning the implementation of the project. Now we want to go down and see what's happened down. Maybe 1,000 or 2,000 apple groups over here. They were distributed to the people, but the place was vacated from trees. But instead, these peach stones are planted. Now, do you see these little groups? And if we want to graft it, then we have time to graft it in August or July. Then from other good varieties. There are maybe more than 5,000 peaches over here. But the other block is also planted to peach stones. And the result is very successful. You see too much seeds have germinated. And maybe next year, hopefully, we will have thousands of peach trees that are grafted and we will distribute it to these people. Let us explain something about this walnut, this apricot. This is the most sophisticated variety of apricot in the world. This is called Southern Abidjani apricot, specially originated from Andarab district of Baghlan province. It's a very beautiful tree, and the fruit is very large, very sweet, and there is much demand for this. The price of this apricot is too high, and if this is some trees are transplanted to Australia, maybe it was very, very good achievement. And if we can, hopefully I will transfer either the science grafting or one tree. And I'm hoping to bring one fruit tree to Australia from this Southern Abidjani apricot. Remember that last year there was a crowded community of fruit trees over here. There was around 5,000 to 10,000 apples. They were very, very huge. And now you see nothing over here. All these apples are taken by the people. Even people are demanding some apple trees, they are not grafted. Still they are demanding that they wanted to graft it themselves. They take it to their house yards, then they graft themselves. But we don't want to practice this policy, since we don't want to distribute ungrafted fruit trees to the people. This is not our job. We will not do this. First we graft, then we give it to the people. We give excellent variety or excellent quality of fruit trees to the people. And that one, you remember, here there was around 5,000 grapevines over here. You see, one is left, or maybe the root is left. It is sprouted from the root, and all the grapevines are taken by the people. No grapevine is left in the project, and there was too much demand for grapevines. The excellent quality of grapevine here is called Pir Nakshi. It's very, very sweet, very delicious, and people are very happy. They are demanding more and more, but we are not able to supply them more, since we don't have budget to continue this project. And if we find budget, some institutions supply budget, then we repeat the project. No, we don't have any obstacle, then we will distribute. Peach trees that is transplanted 2 years ago. But do you see the excellent practices followed on the rearing up of these fruit trees? It is so huge that nobody can imagine that it has 2 years. But this is the third year of their growth. And these leaves are produced 2 months ago. But it is the third year of growth. It's very huge, and people were demanding this much huge fruit tree, but they have taken hundreds, thousands of this peach. There was much demand, and people were very happy. Again and again they are coming and insisting that we should produce peaches. We are hoping that these peaches, small trees that you see here, hopefully after 2 years it will be like this. And this is the result of the work of our project employees. They have made much endeavor and training and practicing agriculture practices here. Hopefully we will have at least 20,000 fish trees next year. As you see, this is also one of the huge trees. And it is the third year of growth, the start of the third year growth. And 2 years it's completed. It is the third year, the start of the third year. Nobody believes that this is the third year of growth. Everybody says maybe it is 5 years old. But you see, we have practiced, we have followed good agriculture practices. That's so that these fruit trees are produced like this. We have utilized chemicals, insecticides, we have utilized fertilizers, and they are irrigated on time, grafted on time. Now, we are very proud of such trees. This is the third year, it's like this. And we are very, very proud of such fruit trees. Nobody can believe it is the third year of growth. Everybody says it is the fifth year of growth. But believe it, we have started this project 3 years ago. These are apple groves. They were planted last year, but now they are grafted. Maybe next year will be ready for distribution. But I should tell you, what for we have chemicals in our proposal, that we have chemical metastasis stocks or something else. You see this insect, it is aphids. It's strongly affecting the growth of this apple. Now, if we do not control this with chemicals, utilizing chemicals, then all of the fruit trees will be infested with this. The growth of these will be hindered very effectively, and this aphids will go to other trees, transmit, and will affect the growth of other trees. But that's why I increased the portion of chemicals. We transferred from labor to chemicals. Now we increase the amount of chemicals. Maybe hopefully next month we will bring maybe thousands bottles of chemicals and more than 40 sprayers and many chemicals for spraying needs. This is the main problem in Afghanistan. If you supply budget for combating this problem, then it will be a very excellent job, and we can make excellent service for the people. You see, there is many trees infested with these pests. You see, this tree is infested. Everyone is infested, and by itself it shows that how much chemical we need to bring to Afghanistan and spray the fruit trees, and how many people we should employ to spray the orchards. Now, when we have this pest in our orchard, then for sure it is in farmers' orchards. We have chemicals we are utilizing, but our chemicals are out of date. We had brought it 3 years ago. Now it is old, out of date, but now it does not affect much. They have spread, but spraying had not any positive effect on the fruit trees. And you see by your own eyes that this is main problem. There are many diseases in Afghanistan. This is one pest. This is very common all over Afghanistan, but there are hundreds of pests to be controlled, and if fund is provided for pest control management, it will be very excellent job, positive job for Afghanistan.
توشک برگدارن نشان میده.
This is another plot that last year there was too many apples. Apples were removed. It is sold to the people. It is transplanted to the orchard houses, but instead it is substituted by grapevines, by grapevine cutting. Maybe 1 or 2,000 grapevines. Next year it will be distributed to the people. This guy is Dr. Burhani, one of our specialists. He is making much endeavor for the purpose of forwarding our orchard development project in Takhar province. He is based here on the project. The other specialist, he is in Peshawar. Due to some racial problems in Afghanistan, he is not able to come here. Maybe next year, hopefully he will come to design orchards. But now he is in Peshawar. He has done much excellent job, and this project was forwarded under his direct supervision. And he is very active. We are very pleased from his activities. These friends, they are extension workers in the project, and Mr. Abdul Kalam, took on. He is our monitor, and that one, this project director is director of the nursery, Mr. Abdul Qayyum, and this friend is Mr. Abdul Samad Khidri. He is one of our technical experts. He is doing much endeavor here. The remainder employees are working in the district, and some of them are in Peshawar doing work over there. And each one is successful forwarding the project very, very successfully. Since the project is mainly implemented and supervised by Dr. Burhani, our project specialist, that we want him to explain some facts about what happened here. Maybe it is in Dari or Persian, then if it is needed, we will explain to you later.
Okay, thank you. From our professor, Dr. Salam Haidar, is the general manager of ARA. Where you can see here, first of all, we thank a lot of thanks from the institution of our federal government, which they give us
Aida Benowski.
For the orchard development in the Takhar city, in the in other district of the Takhar provinces. You can see here, the last year there was a lot of peaches. These peaches were very huge and very healthy. We transplanted from the farm area to the district in the farmer field. And some is remainder here. We shifting from that side to plant it here. In the next year we also growing, and we have planted in October and December. We transplanted these peaches for the farmer, and also we have planned this year to develop it more of orchards, and because of the plan to do this year, complete this year, there is so many demand for this our orchard, and the farmers they want to develop another orchard. We have planned to transplant this plant for the farmer in the next year. The last year, you see here, more than 10,000 peaches were here. These peaches were very good variety. They have a good adaptation in Afghanistan. We transplanted from here to the farmer area for the extent. You can see here, the last year we transplanted like this tree was very good, healthy. Now you can see there are no trees because they all of them transplanted from the farmer. And the farmer they have the mind to take us this our peaches. Also, the beside of the peaches we have pears, also apples, and also almonds and walnuts. Now we planted new peaches here. You can see we want to graft it in the August or the July. We also plan to distribute it for the farmer and also beside of these trees.
There is no question that you will detect and you will discover that there was a very, very dense forest of these peach trees. But now you see it is empty, completely empty. But they have planted some stones. It is not positive this year. Maybe there was some problems with stones. But here, these are plots. You see, at least 20,000 peach trees were growing in these 2-3 plots. You see, now you see nothing here. It's completely empty. Instead, some few trees are left here. They are left for taking soil or buds from this and grafting these other trees. And you clearly remember that last year I was standing in this position, and there was a very, very densely populated nursery of peach over here. But now you see nothing. What happened to these fruit trees? They are transplanted. They are taken out. They are taken to the farmers' orchards or house yards, or they are planted in the houses. Let me explain about the technical portion of the project. What we have done. There is 3 classes of orchards developed. One is technical orchards that by utilizing technical principles by our employees, they are constructed. They are widely spaced. They are planted in straight rows. They are planted following all scientific principles. But the other classes, there are some people, since we received the budget very late, there was much demand, we could not go to every village to do all the orchards in technical basis. Then we have distributed to the people. They have seen what we had done in the scientific construction of orchards. Then utilizing the principles and imitating the principles what we did in the project. Then they have planted. But what is mistakes? Next step, or tomorrow you will see. We will compare these 2 orchards. What is the mistake? They have planted in orderly manner, but they have not followed the space. They have planted near, but after 2-3 years they have to take out 1 out of 3 trees so that to get good yield. Otherwise, the orchard will fail, will not produce good results, and that's our advice for the orchard for the farmers to plant fruit trees in the specified distance that is advised by our employees. If they are plant very near, then it is not good. Now for 1 apricot, this is called Amiri apricot in Afghanistan. It's very good, but it needs 12 to 15 meters space. If they planted 6 meters near to each other, then after 3-4 years, these 2 trees will merge together. Then they will not receive light, and they will compete for food and water in the soil. Then the result will be bad. The plant will go straight forward toward the sky, and that's what we don't like. We need to transplant everything in scientific manner, and that people like it. And too many people is following this technical principle. I'm sure you remember this point. It was densely covered by walnuts. Now it's very around 1 GDP of land. Maybe it had around 40,000 walnut trees over here. But all of them are taken out. It is transplanted to the former orchard. There was much demand for these fruit trees, for these walnuts in Kapisa, Baghlan, and Parwan provinces. But unfortunately, due to the war crisis in Baghlan province and Kunduz province, we failed to transfer these fruit trees to these provinces. But now you see, much trees are left. But anyway, you can judge These are thinly spaced. They are widely spaced. Too many huge trees are taken out from this rows. Last year they were very near. They were very near to each other, but this year you see small ones are left, the large ones are taken out. And this was the only place that they completely finished. In the remainder, very huge size is taken out, but the smaller one is left for this year. Hopefully in September, November and October we will transplant at least 20,000 these walnuts for the people in Takhar, Afghanistan, Kashim and Orsach district in Takhar province. They like it too much. These are very, very famous varieties of walnut. We have selected the most sophisticated variety of walnut from the market, then we have planted. In walnut, grafting is not usual in Afghanistan and in the world. But just they select excellent quality of walnuts, then they transplant it. Then they planted in the rows. And the last year, you remember, you saw this stream of water. This is separating two blocks, peaches from walnuts. Now both peaches and walnuts in this plot, it is vacant, and there are no walnut tree, no peach can be seen here. And 100% of peaches are taken from this, and 100% of walnuts are taken from this plot. And at least from these two, 50,000 trees are taken and transplanted to the orchard. This densely populated almond nursery. Last year there was thousands of almonds. Now what do you see here? There you see very, very few almonds over here. They were transplanted. What happened to this? All of them were taken out. They are transplanted to other districts, to other places, and most of the orchards from almond orchards are established in Takhar city and in Saraysang and other places. But there are other nurseries we will see now that there was not much demand for these almonds. They are left over here. They are very huge, and you can compare the size of them to these small ones left in this nursery. And around 40,000 almonds are distributed and transplanted in the orchard. And since these trees were small, there was not much demand for these. Now we need 1 year to spend on these fruit trees, and they will be large enough for transplantation. Remember that last year it was very, very densely populated. Now you see it is very thin. The nursery was very, very densely populated. But now you see it is very thin. Most of the fruit trees are taken out. They are taken to other districts and villages. They are transplanted. And I think this will be a good proof for implementation of the project. You would have seen very, very huge forest of these walnut trees, and they were very huge. This was near to irrigation water beside this water stream. They had grown very huge, but now you see all of them have disappeared. Since all of them were huge, they were very, very large and huge. Everybody liked them, and they were totally disappeared and taken by the farmers. These are peach trees. You see, it's very densely populated. Last year it is planted and it is grafted. Hopefully this September or October we will transplant it. You see, we have too many, around 800,000 fruit trees for ready for transplantation this year. We need funds for this. We need your cooperation. And otherwise, this huge forest will remain like this in the project, and it will be useless. And we need your cooperation to be continued. And this will accomplish very, very effective service for the people of Afghanistan. Each tree within 3 to 4 years will produce around 50 kilos of peach, and will contribute effectively in the economic status of the people in Afghanistan. There is much demand for peaches. It's very delicious fruit. We have very excellent varieties of peaches in Afghanistan, but I have not seen these varieties somewhere else. And we have more superior varieties of peaches, apples, almonds, walnuts in Afghanistan than any place in the world. And no one can compete with our varieties that we have in Afghanistan.
شما میتونید ببینید که در این پلات در سال گذشته با تعداد اضافه‌تر از 15 الی 20,000 میوه‌های آلوی فارموسایی وجود داشت. این آلوی فارموسایی از بهترین انواعی که در افغانستان، مثلا از بغلان و غیره نقاط افغانستان که توافق خوب آورده بود، ما بتوانیم که برای این زارین زحمتکش و بلادیده تخار کمک کرده باشیم از طریق پروژه آره. و این پروژه آره این مسئولیت ایمانی و وجدانی که داشت و منظور این از جمع‌آوری کرد و در اینجا ما در سال گذشته به تعداد 20,000 انواع مختلفی آلوی فارموسا را ما برای توزیع برای زارین آماده کردیم. مطابق پلان مرتبه ما در وقت معینه برای زارین از اینجا انتقال دادیم و باغ‌های تخنیکی مطابق راهنمایی‌های فنی که عبارت از با در نظر داشت فاصله و همچنان به نظر به شاخبری و همچنان هدایت لازمه برای اونا داده شد که اونا بتواند که در آینده از این راهنمایی معترک مامورین ترویج ما که داده شد و اونا بتواند که برای انکشاف آینده و تاسیس باغ‌های خود از آن استفاده کنند. و یک تعداد کمی از این نیال‌ها در اینجا مانده که ما در سال آینده کوشش میکنیم که اگر برای ما کدام فند یا کدام پروژه فند یا کمک شده بتواند آماده شده بتواند که ما بتوانیم که اینا را هم برای زارعین انتقال بدیم. چرا زارعین از این نیال‌های ما که مثال اونا بردن از نقطه نظر مثلا نوعیتش، از نقطه نظر بهتر بودنش و اونا توانستن که یک رضایت خاطر خوبی داشته باشند. We I'm also a lot of thanks from Dr. Haider, our project manager. He also come from very difficult way from the Peshawar. He traveled and come in the Takhar city. We are a lot of thanks from him. We appreciate it from him. We come in the proper time. We help us. We cooperated with us. We also he given some good information and for us how to prepare the plan, how to make develop our orchards in the next year, also during this year.
این خوردار بوسه هم اگر بردن دمی مای اول بعد از توزیع که تکمیل شد دمی مای
ریسیوی است که شما میبینید در سال گذشته بذر شده و از طرف دیگه ما توانستیم که در تیرما از پیوندم بکنیم، پیوندهای تیرمایی، و از طرف دیگه به چشم سر مشاهده میکنید که این حشرات گرفته. I think maybe he infested all of these trees. It is better to treatment this for the chemical. We need help for this to purchase it some medicine, also some cereals to clear all of these trees infested by the aphids. You want first one or third one or no? You also may remember last year there was thousands of plums and peaches over here, but now you see just some samples are left for the purpose of getting grafting or bud from these trees. It's completely empty. The remainder is taken by the people. All of them are grafted, and you see the plot is empty. Just sample is left. There was much demand for our plums. There are very excellent kinds of plums in Afghanistan. There may be around 4 kinds. We are grafted 4 kinds of plums here, and each one is very excellent, and people like it, and there is too much demand for them. Here they have grafted almond and peaches. This is something wrong practice, since peach tree cannot withstand the foliage of almonds. Almonds grow more huge than this peaches. Let me explain some facts about this. Why they have planted almonds in peaches. There is a special variety of almond found in our section in Takhar. It is called peach almond or shaftal badam in Persian, and it resembles peaches, but actually it is almond. And from the picture it looks like the stone of peaches, but actually it is almond. That's why it is called shaftal badam or peach almond. This is too common in Warsaw in Takhar, Afghanistan. It's very delicious and good commercial value. Everybody like it. This is peach grafting made from this position, you see. This is the original plant, but this is a bud brought from another excellent plant. It is grafted here, but this is a good tree. If this was not planted, maybe it costed 200 or 300 rupees. When it is grafted, it costs 1,000 to 2,000 Afghanis per fruit tree. And this is a very excellent variety of peach. Here in this position, it was densely crowded, thousands of plants and peaches were present, but now you see it's empty, and it is transplanted to the farmer's orchard, and maybe more than 30,000 just peaches are planted in the farmer's orchard. But anyway, we should admit that the technical portion of our project became a little weak, since we could not transplant all, could not construct all the orchards in technical
form. Since the budget, we received the budget very late, and by the time we received the budget, it was too late. But this fall, in October and November, we are hoping to transplant at least 100,000 trees in technical form, utilizing our technical equipment. We have purchased, and still some of them are in Afghanistan, and some of them are left in Peshawar. We are looking for good proper time to bring these instruments along with chemicals and sprayers. And you see everywhere there is infestation of these trees with aphids, with diseases and pests. You see, this shows the importance of plant protection in Afghanistan. Now, we should have a very huge project of plant protection in Afghanistan. Maybe we will need more than 50,000 liters of chemicals and more than 200 sprayers to accomplish this job. Otherwise, if this proliferate and no control measure is taken, then the project will fail, and all the trees we have transplanted will get dry, and there will be no fruit produced. This is the most important portion of our project. That was why I reported to you that the people are demanding chemicals, sprayers, and spraying their fruit trees. They are transplanted by our organization. And all of commanders, too many influential people, they are asking us to bring chemicals, sprayers, and spray all their fruit trees. Otherwise, they will be disappointed. That is why I reported to you that we should increase the importance of plant protection. And I transferred budget from labor to chemicals, and we increase the amount of chemicals and sprayers. And hopefully within 1 month, we will bring these things in Afghanistan. We will spray all this project along with the orchards we have developed in Takhar province. And that is what people are looking for. They are insisting, starting from governor to the smallest person in the province. Everybody is requesting plant protection measures, importing chemicals and sprayers into Afghanistan. This is a very excellent job to be accomplished. And right now, I demand approval of a project and just on plant protection. And otherwise, this huge number of fruit trees that we have transplanted or will be transplanted later, they will get infested with too many diseases and insects. That's very bad, and we will not have good results from these plantations. You see, every tree you see here, wherever you look, there is aphid infestation, disease infestation. Each tree, you see, this is something that should not be forgotten. Something should not be underestimated. This is something that we should take care of this, and otherwise these fruit trees we have transplanted, these thousands orchards we have established, then they will become infested with these diseases, and the result will be negative. And I'm hoping that IDAP and Auscare should provide budget for a very, very huge project of plant protection in Afghanistan. And this is very, very important for our people in Afghanistan. There is no tree in the nursery that is not infested with this disease. Anyway, we have sprayers in the project. They have sprayed these things. But our chemical, as I told you before, they are out of date. They are too old. I had imported them 3 years ago from Pakistan. Now they do not affect. It has lost its poisonous characteristics. Now we have to bring new ones and spray, otherwise they will not affect. This guy is Mr. Ghulam Nabi, one of the most important experts in our project. That he is expert in forestry and nursery. Believe me, he is doing very well. We are very pleased with his performance, and I like him too much. I want his endeavor to be continued more and more. Thank you very much. This was the monitoring portion of the nursery itself. That we showed you various portions that fruit trees were removed and transplanted to other places. And we are finished with the nursery, and you see there are around 800,000 mature fruit trees to be transplanted. Still they are waiting for transplantation. And the nursery portion is finished. We have excellent sufficient proof for you that fruit trees are removed from the project. And tomorrow and day after tomorrow, hopefully, we will prepare the remainder portion of the cassettes from the orchards that are developed in different villages and districts. Thank you very much. Mr. Ray, Mr. Mark, and Ms. Patricia, good morning. Now we are in another position in Takhar province. This district is called Bangi. Maybe more than 100 orchards established in this district. It is the irrigated area. You see the physical feature of this district, and part of it is mountainous, dry, and most of the region is irrigated. It is very fertile area, and people are very happy. Too many farmers expressed their gratitude to the people of Australia for their support of this project, and they have made some interviews you will see later. And the first video cassette we had prepared, it was failed. Too many people had interviewed with our representatives. They had expressed their excellent gratitude to the people of Australia. Now we will go down and we will see some orchards established over here. The number are too frequent. We cannot visit all the orchards. Since you see this is the only way going to Eshkamish or Narin district, but there is no route, traffic route to the villages. It is very difficult for us to go to every village and prepare video film from each orchard. And we go to some representative orchards and prepare this film. Otherwise, it will take 3 months to prepare a detailed video film from these orchards established over Takhar province. Hurry! 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 This is one of the technical orchards supervised and established by our own employees. And as you see, all the plants or all the trees are planted in rows, but the spacings are according to our instruction, and this is absolutely rules and regulations are followed. But after the orchard is established, the farmer himself has made some modification in the orchard, and without the permission of our employees, he has planted additional fruit trees here, and the spacing is changed. And actually, spacing between two trees were 8 meters, but now it seems it is 4 meters. And we don't want 4 meters between two fruit trees, but farmers themselves, they make some modification after our supervision. This is some mistake they make, but as long as we can convince them, and it takes too much time, it needs extension education, it needs to close supervision, going, coming, frequenting on the project, so that they get convinced, and they should not make more modification in the fruit trees plantation. And still we are happy since they have not changed the mode of row plantation. Otherwise in Afghanistan it was common that they were planting very irregularly. Their row plantation was not common. They would have planted wherever they wanted, they liked. At least 70% they have followed our instructions. As I told you 2 minutes ago, farmers by themselves, they make some modifications in the project without our permission. Do you see this pomegranate tree? We don't have pomegranates in our project, but he has not followed the row plantation. That is the row, but now they have planted one pomegranate tree over here. This is out of order. We have not advised them to plant so, but he has made this plantation by himself. He is happy with this, but by this plantation he has made his orchard irregular. But it takes time, we convince them. But regular frequenting of our extension workers instructed them, finally they will get convinced and they will not repeat such operations anymore. This is one of fruit trees. This is pomegranate tree. This is planted by the farmer himself, and it is dried. It is out of order. It is dried out. The result is negative. You see, here the farmer has planted more than 100 fruit trees taken from our orchard. This is transplanted by our employees. But you see, the fruit tree that is transplanted from the fruit tree that is transplanted by farmer himself, and it is not from our nursery, it is negative. It is dried. It is dried. He should take it out from this area. Our fruit trees are absolutely positive. No tree is dried out. It seems that one should trust ARA fruit trees more than any fruit tree in Afghanistan. You see, they are produced under good supervision, under good disease and pest control, and no one is negative. Every fruit tree transplanted or taken out from our nursery is positive. It is no negative, no loss in money or fruit tree. Oh. As you see, this is a family orchard. Families need different kinds of fruits, and that's why they do not plant a single kind of fruit tree in their orchard. See, from the beginning so far, we saw so many kind of fruit trees. The first row was peach, the second, third, fourth was almonds, the fourth is apples, the fifth is peaches, pears, and plums. The sixth is also peaches, and the other one is also almonds. They make a composite orchard that contains many different kinds of fruit trees, and it should produce fruit tree for the family, and it provides fruit tree for the family. This is maybe around 2 acres of land. It has covered 2 acres of land, and it should be stated that these the work is done by the labor is hired by our organization, and this field is smoothed out and prepared for the farmer by our expenses, and this is regularly constructed. Otherwise, farmers are not able to map and construct an orchard in a scientific manner. Everybody if comes, he clearly can detect that this is something technical, and rows are very straight, and something technically is done in this project. Mr. Mark, if you remember, you had stated in your one of your proposals that you sent to the ARA that what is the later support for these farmers. You see, we don't have any support for these farmers. This land is now occupied by the orchard, but this orchard do not produce fruit in the first year. But you see, they have planted melons in this field. But now it is possible after 3 to 4 years, these fruit trees grow so huge that it will be shadow, and just grasses will be grown. But if they grow rice or wheat and barley, then it will affect the growth of these trees. And if a person is able to pay some money for these farmers so that they do not plant anything in their orchard and just they supply fertilizer to their fruit tree, then these orchards will come to production level within 3 years. Then in other words, the maturity stage of the fruit tree will be enhanced very, very effectively. But we don't have any choice. We cannot pay to these farmers. And furthermore, these fruit trees require fertilizer. They are unable to purchase fertilizer from the market is very, very expensive. If our organization provides fertilizer for these fruit trees, it will be very, very effective contribution. And the second year, this fruit tree will be a huge tree, like the fruit trees we showed to you in Takhar fruit nursery project. Within the third year, that was a huge tree. It was producing maybe around 50 kilos of peaches from one tree. These are the same tree we have brought from that project. It is transplanted here. This is peach. Maybe if we provide fertilizer, next year it can produce around 10 kilos of peaches. The third year it produced 40 or 30 kilos. The fourth and fifth year, it is very, very huge and productive tree. Maybe it produced 60 or 70 kilos of peaches. It will be great contribution to the people. And that is what the farmers are requesting from us. Can you supply fertilizer to us? So far we are helpless. We could not promise anything for them. Just we have promised we spray these trees for you, and just for the first year, this year. We have supplied too much chemical in Peshawar, but the routes were unsafe. There are some factions, political factions, they want to usurp our commodities. Now we are looking for some community support so that we can cross the Pakistan border and some borders in Afghanistan and bring these chemicals to the project and spray. And that is a great support for the people. If we do not spray these trees, then again they will fail. But these are the later requirements of these projects. I show you another negative result from fruit trees taken from other places. You see, this is not, maybe this is not trained or in a regular manner. Maybe the roots are very less, and there is some, or they have transported irregularly, and maybe it has received damages from transportation, or maybe it has not received enough fertilizer or irrigation water during production, and that's why this fruit tree has failed. Why our fruit trees are not failed? You see, 100% our fruit trees are positive. No one is dried out. Everyone is successful, and that is the outcome of scientific principles that we have applied in production and transplantation. Every farmer feels now, if we take fruit trees from ARA nursery, it will be very excellent, it will be positive, it will come to production. But if they get it from local places, this is the result. At least 50% of fruit trees fails. It does not come to production. This is the comparison of the local production to scientific production of fruit trees. And each farmer needs a set of gardening equipment, including sprayer, pruning shears, lopping shears, and some equipment for cultivation. You see, for the cultivation of their house or something like that. And you see, this is now in an orderly manner fruit tree. Next year, they need to prune this one. It should be pruned either by our extension workers or by farmer himself. Now, every farmer is requesting from us that a set of gardening equipment should be supplied to them, including hose, this lopping shears, pruning shears, something like this. Too many equipment they are requesting from us. For sure, they are required very, very severely. It is if we can supply, if we can gift them these equipment, it will be a great contribution to the people of Afghanistan. This is something too easy for international donors, for human-loving people of Australia and other places, but too difficult for the people of Afghanistan. You see, this community living. And they need much support. You see, they have started a new life in Afghanistan. And by the time that Russians were here, everybody was in the mountains, nobody was here. Now they have come, this is the second year they have come here and they have started new life. Millions of trees are lost by bombardment, but now they are replanting them. Our friend or the orchard owner gifted us a product of a dairy product called dough. This does not have any English expression, but we call it dough. It is very delicious. It is sour. We like it too much, but it is very precious for us. But maybe it does not taste you well. This is the guy, the owner of the orchard. Do you know, if you look for his clothes, for his bare foot, you will detect that he is very poor. He needs our support. Clothes of this farmer. See, he is very, very poor. He needs much support from us and from other human-loving people of the world. And believe me, this is the most important point to invest money. If any organization want to work effectively, Afghanistan is the most important point to invest money, particularly in utilization of our fruit trees. It's very, very important. Maybe our estimation shows that more than 30,000 orchards will be established if we utilize our fruit trees that are present in our nursery. And every farmer needs, there is much demand for our fruit tree, but they are very poor. If they transplant themselves, it will be wrong. They cannot spray, they cannot utilize scientific principles, then our fruit trees will be lost. The only way to utilize these fruit trees effectively is provision of funds for ARA so that he can utilize his fruit trees himself. Then it will be a great help for the people of Afghanistan. I wish you were here and you have I wish you were here and you had tested this food material we are drinking now. This is called dough, or in Pashto language it's called shulumbay. It's a dairy product. Yeah, it is very delicious for us. If somebody walks in the sun, then if he drinks this dairy product, then he will not be affected by sun. Otherwise, if a person walks in the sun for a long time, then he will get fever. This is representative of a local life in Afghanistan. You see, this is a house constructed from the mud. You see, that is animal dung that is dried for the purpose of fuel. They don't have any other thing, including natural gas or petroleum or diesel, something like that. This is the only thing available here, either wood or animal dung. They process animal dung like that. You see, they have modified into a piece or a large pieces. You see, it is rounded, something like that. Then they make it into fuel. They use it in stoves, ovens, or local stoves. And this is the sort of community life in Afghanistan. This is a house yard. As you see, 3 rows of our fruit trees are transplanted by our employees in this house yard. This is just for the purpose of production of fruit for this family of this house. And maybe he has planted around 40 fruit trees just in a small space. He has not followed our instruction. He has planted very near to each other. You see, these are very good trees. He has taken it from our organization, but he has not followed our instruction. And he has planted fruit trees very near to each other. This is a method that after 2-3 years he will face problem, since the branches of these fruit trees grow taller and they come and margin to each other. After that, they will not receive good light and good ventilation or air movement among the trees. Then it will get infested with pests and diseases. Since sunshine is a good disinfectant, it will kill many microbes, and they will face problem. And furthermore, the amount of sunlight receiving by the tree is a main factor of maturity of fruit bats and production of fruit by the trees. If fruit trees do not receive sufficient amount of light, then these bats will not reach to maturity and will not produce flower to produce fruit. This is something we anticipated very early. We have warned farmers for this reason, but they don't like this our instruction. They say we should have more fruit trees in a small space, and many farmers are convinced now. We are hoping that within years we will be able to convince them to follow good instructions. Okay, now still we are in Bangi district of Takhar province. This is jihadi commander of Bangi, named Commander Abdul Wahab. Abdul Wahab, isn't he? Commander Abdul Wahid Khan. Formerly he was jihadi commander, but now he is district manager of Bangi district. He has established an orchard by the area of around 6 jeeps of land. Really, he likes our work. You see, he has surrounded his orchard by muddy wall. He has spent too much money on this orchard, and he is very happy from our organization, since we have supplied too much fruit trees for him, and they have mapped his orchard, and they have supplied budget for transplantation of fruit trees. He has very good mind in this village, and we are happy from his behavior in this area. And all trees planted are in order. You see, he has not done anything out of our advice. And this is an actual orchard, really. He has followed space, he has followed our orderly management. He has not transplanted any additional fruit tree without our order. This is a good orchard, scientific orchard, and this is really an example of scientific establishment of orchards. All the trees are in rows, and spacing is correct, and soil management is good. He has not planted wheat or barley, just he has planted tomatoes or some vegetables. It does not affect the growth of our trees, and good luck for him.
گفتنی داشته باشین پیشنهاد
شما پیشنهاد شما از ما چه توقع دارین؟ کاری برادرای ما به شما چقدر مفید است؟ ما آینده پلان ما است که مثلا خواست خدا باشد این ما دیگه نامنیال میشنیم. بسیار خوب این تنظیم هنوز سامان و وسایل ما نداشتیم، نتونستیم آورده بسیار سامان و وسایل میه، تکنیکی بسیار خوب کار میشه و دیگه که در رختای شما انقریب دواپاشا و دوا میه، همه دواپاشی میشه. با آقای رکساخیم دیگه رو بودن نمیتیم، چرا بخاطر مواد که دیگه بازم توقع شما چی است در آینده از کمیته؟
توقع ما چه باشه؟ نمی زحمت کشی ما رو دیدار ایتیم که ما کنیم باید چیز انواع ضرورت داره، در قیچه شخابری داره، در انواع دواپوشی داره و دیگه دوا ضرورت داره و چیزی که ضرورته که برای باغ لازم است که در باغ بکار است خودت میفهمید دیگه ما چی داریم.
We asked the commander, what is your needs, what is your expectation from ARA organization? He says, just plantation of these fruit trees are not sufficient for us. Most of them get infested with diseases. We should, it should be spread, and particularly he is very, very fond of having a set of gardening equipment. He asked me himself that I should supply him a set of sprayer, some chemical, and some pruning shears and lopping shears. He asked me, some hose for me. He is good man, really. He encouraged me further, since he has constructed a huge wall around the orchard. It seems he is encouraged. He likes his orchard. He doesn't want animals to get into his orchard and damage his fruit trees. And really, I like such orchard there.
رئیس گفتن که اطراف باغ دیوال کردن، بسیار پیسه زیاد مصرف کردن و ما از بسیار کار از اینا بکار خوش هستیم، زحمت کشیدن و دیگه اینمی باغشان مطابق هدایت مامورین فنی ما صورت گرفته، دیگه تو نیالای اضافه گیر نورده نشانده و اما فاصله و قطار کلش مراعات کرده گفت بسیار زحمت کشید و ما از کاری از اینا از چیز اینا بسیار تمجید میکنیم و قدر میکنیم. منتها ما پیشنهاد شما را با او چی میکنن که ضرورتهای شما را انشالله در آینده برآورده میشه.
با قماندان صاحب ما قدر سامان و وسایل ان قریب میاریم که مثلا مامور ما بیایه مثلا شاخبری کنه چی کنه. ولی تو مستقل به دست هر فامیل داده نمیتونی. مثلا دواپاش است، 30-40 دواپاش میگه در پشت نفرا می باشد در این باغای که ما ساختیم میگه یار دواپاش میکنه. مگر بیرو از این ساحه انسان درخت دیگه باشد یا بازور نمیتونه. دوا و مواد کیمیایی برابر این درخت‌ها داده شده. باز ما پیشنهاد آینده با دول خارجی داریم. اگر ما راستی یعنی این اساس صحنه را برشان نشان میده. اگر به نظر از قانون کننده خورد باز اونا دیگه پول میتن که ما دیگه مواد کیمیایی میخریم باز وقت کلی ولسوالی‌ها را دوا پاشی میکنیم. باز کار پیش از وقت قیمت داره. ان شاء الله ما حد بزنیم که جایی را میگیره. نمیبینن سر که شما کار کردین نیال شدین همشون خوردن.
گرچه ما با خاطری قبلا یک دو دفعه که انجینر متخصص به دفتر کمیته یوی مجلس اجرات افغانستان به نمایندگی از فوهان دکتر غلام حیدر اندرابی که رئیس کمیته یوی مجلس اجرات افغانستان مقیم پشاور است اینجا تشریف آوردن. دو سه مراتب همراه شما ما همین نیالا را از نزدیک شاندیم و هم در وقت هم گفته بودیم که بانی و مؤسس این پروژه ها اینمی یگانه فوهان غلام حیدر اندرابی که زحمت کشیدن دفعه اول با پای پیاده از کوههای شامیخ و صعب المرور با پای پیاده آمدن و اینجا بودجه آوردن و اینجا تماما وسایل چیزا را اینجا آوردن، باغداری را از نزدیک همکاری کردن. امروز که نتیجه از شما میبینید که نمی نیاله ها کلشان از اثر توجه و زحمت کشی نمی مرد است. که امروز شما میبینید که نمی باز هم آمده که میبینن که آمدن واقعا که نیالایی که ما تربیت کردیم مردم بردن و شاندن نشاندن چه ترتیب است، آیا مامورین ما رفتن کار کردن نکردن، نیالی خودشون آمدن از نزدیک میبینن و امروز شما صحبت میکنن.
امیر This is walnut tree. You see how much walnut is taken. It produces much fruit. This has very, very high commercial value. That is why we have produced 500,000 walnut trees in our nursery. The future of those trees will be much better than this. This is low quality walnut, but we have excellent quality of walnuts in our project. And if they transplant these fruit trees, our walnut trees, then they will be much encouraged since its quality is very, very superior than these walnuts. You see, it has produced much fruit, and the commercial value of these walnuts are high in Afghanistan, and it takes much fruit. Each tree produces too much walnuts each year. There is too many foreign markets for walnuts produced in Afghanistan. Hopefully, if our walnuts are transplanted in Afghanistan in the future, maybe thousands tons of walnuts will be produced that will be exported to other countries. Who has much fuel problem? There's the lack of fuel material in Afghanistan. Walnut not only functions as a fruit, but it functions as a main producer of fuel wood. You see, they grow very huge. The wood is not only used for fuel, also it's used for carpentry. And the wood is very, very expensive than any wood in the world. Most of the carpenters use the wood of walnut for construction or production of chairs, doors, and shelves, and many things like this. And everybody planting walnuts, it's a multi-purpose tree, not only produce fruit, it produces wood as well. Still we are in Bangi, we are in another orchard, and you see we have planted around 100 fruit tree over here, and most of its tree is normal. There are some trees failed, and I claim that we dug out the tree from the soil, that there was some dangerous worms feeding on the roots, and it needs some chemicals for abolishing this disease or destruction of these worms. And otherwise, all of the trees, the remainder trees are normal. He has followed the instructions, and there is no mistake in his project. In that area, alfalfa is being grown. Alfalfa is something useful for these fruit trees, since it supplies nitrogen for fruit trees. But if they irrigate too much, it is dangerous for almonds. It will be not good for almonds. This is another newly constructed orchard in the neighborhood of the first orchard. Still we are in Bangi. It's a small orchard around 1 acre of land. And it's a family orchard. He has planted peaches, apples, pears, and almonds for family use, just family. This is not for commercial purpose. Because they want their family to eat this, that's all. Die beach nog eens graag. Gebeurt hier dus niet als ik. Dat is check. Check dat, check dat. As you see, this is a local plum tree, but it is heavily damaged by insects. You see, these tips are dried by. It's affected by aphids. Aphids has sucked out all the juice from the tree, and that's the result that it is dried out, since the liquid material of plant is sucked by aphids. Aphids are very, very dangerous. It seems that this orchard needs spraying. That's why I told you that we need a huge amount of chemicals and sprayers, so that to combat these problems. Otherwise, all the fruit trees will be subjected to severe loss or death. This tree is heavily infested. Maybe billions of aphids are living on this tree. We need to destroy these aphids, otherwise this can infest 1,000 trees. This is very easily transmitted from one place to another, since it is transmitted by the wind. Just 1 minute of wind can transfer this to 1 or 2 kilometers. And from 1 to 3,000 trees will be infested. It's a very dangerous insect. Okay, we are still in Bangi district of Takhar province. It is a very, very long valley. We cannot cover all of them. We have hired one Russian jeep. We have come here. Still, we cannot cover all the orchards. And this is another orchard in Bangi. You see, they have followed the instructions. We have given. This is constructed by our employees, but the owner have not made any alteration in the construction or in the structure of the orchard. But still, even though it is more than 2 acres of land, still they have planted different kinds of fruit trees. It means it is for family use, not for commercial purpose. You see, one row is walnut, the other row is peaches, the other row is plum, the other row is apple, the other row is pear. This is a family orchard, and anyway, it is they have not modified the shape we have designed. It's a good orchard, and still they are demanding fertilizers and chemicals, insecticide sprayers from us. But let's see, they are asking us something that we can never afford. They say each family should receive one sprayer along with some chemicals, along with some pruning and gardening equipment. This is something that is impossible. It is not impossible. If budget is supplied, we can give each family one sprayer plus these equipment. But in the present condition of ARA, we are not able to supply them. But we have purchased some sprayers. We will transfer it to the project site, and we will spray the orchard established. But we are not able to give these sprayers and chemicals to individuals. Or we have purchased sufficient amount of these loppers, shear loppers and pruning shears, but we cannot give it to anybody. Our own employees will utilize it for pruning and for improving orchards. That's all. As you see, this is an excellent quality of almond tree. This is brought from our project and transplanted by our labor and employees in this orchard. But you see, this is dried. It has given a negative result. What is the reason? Each plant has specific requirement of water. You see, this is planted in a vegetable. It is a vegetable plot. This is planted to onions. Onions need weekly irrigation, even twice a week. It is being irrigated. But this almond is sensitive to irrigation water. It needs once a month irrigation, and it does not resist too much irrigation water. That is why the root has rotten and the plant is lost. And this is something to be followed, that almonds should never be planted in vegetable plots or somewhere there is much irrigation water or the water table is high. Otherwise the plant will be dried or lost. Otherwise, this is very good plant. Maybe it's very high cost, but unfortunately it's lost. The reason is known. That is application of high amount of irrigation water. These are something that we instruct orcharders that right now they should follow these principles. They should not plant almonds in high irrigation places, irrigation water places, and it is a somewhat dry plant.
Çıkar peşi, yürü kaç lira?
This location is called Qabri Qazi or grave of a judge in English. This is another orchard developed here. You see, there most of the trees are almonds. There is also apples, peaches, and apricots planted over here. But he has followed our instruction. You see, he has not cultivated wheat or barley. Just he has planted melon in this field, and this is good for orchard development since it does not affect the tree, does not produce shadow, or does not produce any disease in the stem of the tree. But here we see some of the planted trees are dried. This is not due to the reason of irrigation, since this is melon. There is no much water applied, but there is due to some carelessness of the orchard owner. He has followed some agricultural practices that has uncovered the roots, then wind and sun has affected the roots, then the plant has dried. Otherwise, most of 90% of the trees are positive. There is no problem. He has followed the instruction. You see, they are in rows, spacings are regarded. Any step is taken good. This guy has followed all the instructions. He has not made any mistake. He has not planted any more trees. And the field is very clean, regular, and it seems very well. Good future for him.
اینجا قلعه قاضی نامیده می شود. محترم قلعه قاضی تماما از درخت‌های احیای مجدد زراعت افغانستان اینجا نهال‌های غرس کردند.
This is a small house here. And he has received fruit trees from the ARA organization. He has just received some instruction and transplanted himself. You see, he has followed the instructions, but he has not regarded the spacing. Each fruit tree should have been planted at least 8 meters apart. But you see that they are near 3 meters apart. He has not followed our instruction. Just he has followed a little the orderly manner that he has planted in row spacing. This is the mistake that the farmers make. If we do not instruct, we do not go to the project, to the villages and do not direct them, then they make these mistakes. They are very near. After 3 to 4 years, then all the space will be shadowed and plants will get infested with diseases and productivity of these fruit trees will be low. This is a house yard and orchard, house yard orchard, and here's some mistakes. And this is done by farmers themselves. Just they have received fruit trees from us.
تر میکنه میره
نه همی حال توی بیبی که هر طرف سر به خود روان است
تو ده هر 20 ایلا کرده ایلا با سال بخیر یال نمیشه
رقمی شاش روز او نکنه فقط دیگر رو شش بزر
همه جان اینو پیوند است چی شده
این چات است ये तो पैसे मर कोई
چی بودم نماشه مردمی آزاد جیلی احمد مازن دو رو برای پاسی از این مقصد جانسایی
مقصد کار پیش برد پیش از
بشتی قدر بازار بگردی کار پاس
اما بیواز یک هزار تو یک روز درست پیش کار پیش میره
ها کار پیش میره
از نگاه چیزم بسیار تاثیر دادم در جوزار کشانده تو بسیار دیگر رقم میکنه
هاش جدی زمین یک لک درویش داشتیم
دارم میذاره کلش
دارم مرا هنوز خوب دادیم در دیال باشه دو لک دمیش पैसा तो ये वही तो आज चाय خلاص
Now we are in the village of called Cheshme Sher. This is related to Takhar province, near Talokan city. The orchard developed by our employees belongs to Haji Abdul Qudus. He is one of the progressive farmers in Takhar province. Actually, he has the orchard he has managed very well. Our employees has designed his orchard very well, and anything looks good. So far, no disease or pest appear in his field. It seems he has managed this very well. Furthermore, he has followed our instruction. He has not cultivated wheat or barley or another cereal crop in his orchard. You see, just he has planted melons and some onions. No fruit tree is dried in his orchard. Everything looks normal, but nothing looks out of order. But anyway, they are demanding spraying of their fruit trees. Really, there are some aphids in some part of their trees, but they are true. Really, if we do not spray their trees, then some pests from the neighboring orchard on that side, that old orchard, will come and attack them. And in addition to spraying their own orchard, we need to spray the orchards in the neighborhood of their orchards, so that no microbe and no aphids or pests can come from that orchard to this one. And everyone demands pesticide, insecticide, and fertilizer and equipment for their orchards, pruning shears, lopping shears, and the shovels, other equipment related to agriculture. This guy is a progressive farmer. He likes anything well developed from developed countries, and really these equipments are essential for these orchards. He has grown so many.
سلام علیکم. شما جور بخیر هستید؟ جانتون جور است؟ بخیر هستید؟ خیر خیر است.
مهربانی
مهربان باشین.
تشکر لطفتان از شما. لطفاً خود معرفی کنید صاحب. اسمتان چیه؟
ما اسم موجی عبدالقدوس.
که قریه شما رو به نام چی یاد میکنن؟
به نام چمیچر یاد میشه.
که درختایی که شما آوردین ما وضعیت شکل ظاهریش هم میبینیم. بسیار خوب زحمت کشیدین به قطار با فاصله و تمام راهنمایی‌های مامورین که کمیته ARA را یا احیای مجدد زراعت افغانستان را در نظر گرفته و شما بذار کردن. لطفاً بگوین که این نیالا را شما از کجا آوردین؟
ما این را صاحب از این پروژه نو آوردیم.
پروژه
با
کمیته
مجلس
احیای مجدد.
بله. این را نظر به هدایت همین مامورین‌های پروژه
بسیار خوب.
با ما همین تو نقشه گذاری کرد که به این شکل 4 در 4 با فاصله 8 متر. ما ایزا گزارش دادیم نیالا را صاحب هم گستازی از زمین مامورینی است و شخصیت خود ما نبود. نظری از این مردم بود، ما را به زمین غلط کردیم. شاید اینا چندین دفعه اینجا آمدن نظری خود دادن، یکم تشم شاخابریم کرده باشه، آبداریش و چیزیاش هم با ما نظر دادن. ما از روی از او همین کار شروع کردیم.
شما صاحب به قراره که شما خودتان اجازه نبودین که نیالا را از کمیته ARA یا احیای مجدد زراعت افغانستان آوردین. نظرتان در آینده چی است؟ برای آیا این نیالای که اینا تربیت کردن از نظر شما یک کار خوبی است؟ آیا در آینده نظر دارین که دیگه شما هم نیال باغ بسازین؟
یک نظر بسیار خوب نظر است، چرا یک خیریه جامعه است، تنها به شخصیت یک مردم نیست. افغانستان ما یک افغانستان عقب مانده بود. سر از این روز صاحب همین نیالگذاری و سبزه‌زاری تاریخش از زمین به شروع شده با برکت خدا و با برکت همین پروژه و همین مجلس‌های چیز شما صاحب. ما می‌خوایم که آینده هم یک تعداد زمین‌های خود به نیالگذاری کوشش کنیم.
خب قراره که شما خبر دارین اکنون محترم پروفسور غلام حیدر رئیس همین کمیته برای دیدن همین باغ‌های شما اینا از راه‌های بسیار پرپیچ و مشکل تشریف آوردن و باغ‌های شما را می‌بینن. اگر کدام گفتنی داشته باشین و یا کدام مشکلاتی داشته باشین، کدام نظریات و پیشنهاداتی داشته باشین، لطفاً به حضورشان تقدیم کنین.
ما از اینا یک جان تشکر میکنیم از آمدن از یا که در این موانع کلوخا و زمین‌های خارا چکر میزنند. محترم هستند صاحب، بزرگترین بسیار زیادتر و تقاضا و توجه ما همیست که البته یکم قسمت نیالا یکم دعوا و ضرورت یکم چیزی داشته باشه، از قسمت ما پوره شاید نشود یا این قدر ما دانش نداشته باشیم که در این چیز استعمال کنیم. اگر با آینده ما کمک کرده میتونن یک جان تشکر، اگر نمیتونن خیر نیست. چرا راه دور است نیست؟ از راه دور
امکانات هم
دیگه.
Now I'm requesting from Professor Haidar, please translate to the Commander Haji said. to the Australian government. محترم حاجی صاحب قراره که ما به اطلاع شما میرسانیم برای انکشاف بیشتر باغات شما در آینده از طرف کمیته ما در تصمیم گرفته شده است که به کمک کشور استرالیا که تا بتوانه بعض سامان آلات دواپاسی بعض قیچا و غیره ما خریداری کنیم به دست شما بگذاریم. البته یک کمک بسیار انسانی و قابل قدر بوده و این برای زارعین ولایت تخار بسیار موثر و مفید تمام میشه و اینا در آینده به اثر همین کمکی همین دولت استرالیا میتونن که در انکشافات باغات کم شد. لطفا شما نظرتان در مورد کمک دولت استرالیا که کمک انسانی و انسان دوستی بوده ابراز بدارید.
استرالیا دیگه بود.
کمک استرالیا همینطور یک برادر کمکی کلمه واضح است. از اینکه لطفا این مهربانی های را که این کمک استرالیا کرده هیچ کشور نکرده. اولتر نتیجه نمیشه معلوم میشه که خودشان در اینجا آمدن با پا و قدمشان با ما کمک خود معرفی کردن. ما یک جان تشکر میکنیم از این کمک هایشان سے از قبیله های قیچی و دعوا و بعضی ضرورت هایی که در باغ دارن. یک جان تشکر.
حاجی صاحب Abdul express his deep gratitude to the people and government of Australia for supplying budget for forwarding this project and providing chemicals and sprayers and pruning shears and other equipment for further progress of this project and promising to transplant more 100,000 fruit trees for these people. They are very, very happy and still they are requesting more and more help and they say long live the people and government of Australia. Thank you. انتو عادتوا زي خطرة بيجي انتو یک دار مشکل ما ثابت است ما خبر بودم از این روبروش با ما آمده بود روبرو جدا بود برای را باقا میگوشه حاجی صاحب فکر تا بگی اینی زردالو عالی ترین زردالو در دنیا این به نام یکی از نفرهای بلندپایه اندرها بود خدا بیامور سردار نبی جان نام داشت این زردالو در باغ نمو دیگه جای نبود نام سردار نبی جانی است
آفرین
این از اینی تا که میتونی از این پیوند کو ببین فرق داره بسیار از دیگه زردالوهایی برگشت لورک گرد و دیگه زیاد برگ میکنه بسیار مقبول بوده داره و این قدر شیرین است کلان که در دنیا از این قدر زردالوی خوب دیگه نیست. ما مقایسه کردیم بردیم خارج تجزیه کردن دیدن که چقدر بوره داره ای چقدر شکر داره از این قدر زردالوی خوبش دیگه هیچ نیست
معقول
یه نمیره ازش اقر میتونی پیوند که دیگه یک زردالو را پیوند نکنی غیر از این نمیشه
زود مهربانی کنید.
ببین این شاید سال دیگه هم داشته باشه اونو اگه باشه از اینا را میشه از پروژه آورده
بله خب همین میالا را
این خونموز این نیست این زردار نبیجانی نیست این امیری این نیست هم سردار نبیجانی است
درست بله تو اون بالاگی هم باشه چهارم پنجم بالاگی است
بله آخرینگه آنو باشه این بیاره تا که میتونی تربیت کو و دیگه چیزا برش دیگه درختان هم برش پیوان نه نبوده این یک دلیده ای در زندگی باز تو خود دیدی خستش زمابنش میترخه زردالوی تو خسته شید تو تبخیرگی سرایده
رقم خیلی دیگه
نه خیلی بسیار از در دنیا این دیگه است سردار نبی جانید غیر در اندراب یک 10-15 درخت یزی در پیش امی آدم بود باز از او خودشم تفسیر کرده من اندراب باز ما ایره بخیر یاد کردیم observe this guy is an progressive farmer. He has followed all instructions our employees have given to him. He has not planted any other crop in his field except vegetables and melon. The only crop that is permissible with orchard. Growing of these vegetables in clover, alfalfa and melon is permissible in orchard. They have followed these procedures. You see here is onions grown in this field. He has supported the onion and the fruit tree. All of them are normal and it is growing vigorously. There is no fruit tree that is dried or there is no failure and he is very successful. We promised him that we spray his trees and we sprayed the orchard totally. We spray these neighboring orchards also. And he is very happy. He is very impressed from the ARA and from the people and government of Australia for providing funds for supporting this project. He has expressed his gratitude for the people of Australia, particularly IDAP, for supporting this project.
This is a
local type of bread. This is cooked at the houses. They are baked at the houses. This is made by housewives. It's very large. It's half square meter. This is very important foodstuff in Afghanistan. Wherever we go, they supply this foodstuff for us. It's very delicious. Particularly when one eats very strong food, powerful food, then he needs to take this one. It's called dough. Then the food will be digested very soon. Now we are in another spot in the neighborhood of Taliban city, the center of Takhar province. This village is called Eshan Qishlaq, or the village of a tribe called Eshans. And this is a very well constructed technical orchard. It's very beautiful. It is almost 5 acres of land and it has more than 1,000 fruit trees. And you can see yourself that how orderly they are transplanted. They are encouraged so much. They have built a very huge wall around the nursery, around their orchard. They have spent too much money to construct this wall, but the construction process is carried out, the transplantation process carried out by our labor and employees. Now, how beautiful it looks. All rows are very orderly manner, and but there is a mistake in their cultivation that they have grown this barley in their field, since they want to get another crop from their land in addition to their fruit, since their fruit trees do not produce any fruit right now, maybe next year or on the third year. This is their fruit trees has not grown so much compared to those grown melons or alfalfa. You see, the fruit trees has not grown vigorously. They are little smaller and infected by pests much than the other places. And this is due to their poorness, since they want to get yield from this land and do their expenses daily. But if they were supplied with a little aid, then they would have accepted not to plant anything or plant vegetables or these melons, and they could do their daily expenses, and they would not have planted this barley. This barley have proved a little defective to their crop. You see, this barley grows this much tall. You see, from the now it is harvested, you cannot see this plant. This is the height of a barley. Now you can see that it covers around 1 meter of tree, and the height of 1 meter of tree is covered by this barley. It filters air movement, it filters light, and it produces shadow. Relative humidity will be high in this area. Then aphids grow very, very vigorously and on the stem, and it proves dangerous. Light will not be contacted on the stem of the tree, and relative humidity contributes to the growth and reproduction of any kind of microbe. You see here, this branch, this shoot is dried. What is the reason? This is due to infestation with some insects and diseases. This leaf is yellow. Why? This is due to some diseases that is encouraged due to high relative humidity. These branches are dried due to this plantation. If barley was not grown, then these branches would not have been dried. It would have been successful. These are damages of other crops if they are grown in companion with these fruit trees. Otherwise, this guy has constructed very good orchard. He has managed well, except that he has grown barley. To be a fish. This is the most striking and important sample of a tree that is infested with many microbes, not one. This is mainly contributed by barley cultivation in this field. You see, this is alive. This is not damaged. This is alive. It is a good tree, but these shoots and leaves are infested with mites. In addition to aphids, not only aphids, also mites has affected this tree. It was not seen anywhere else, but we saw it in this field. And my judgment is that the only element that contributed to mite reproduction in this tree is this barley cultivation. Now, once Mr. Mark mentioned in one of his proposals that what is the next contribution to the farmers if they transform their land to the orchard. Now, if we had promised them that we pay you a little money in addition to these fruit trees, then you shouldn't plant your land with these crops, then they would have admitted. But what was our alternative? We didn't have money to pay for them. We didn't have anything. We asked just for transplantation charges with chemicals and the salary of employees. That was what you accepted. But we were absolutely helpless if in the future these promises are made for provision of fertilizers or some seeds, vegetable seeds, beans, other things, then we will promise farmers. And for sure, if we afford these promises and we can supply vegetable seeds or some financial contribution to these farmers, for sure these fruit trees will come to full production level within 4 years. this orchard will produce at least 50,000 kilos of fruit within 5 years if we afford our promises and provide money for fertilizer, for other spraying, for some money for financial contribution, so that they do not plant barley and wheat in their crops. This orchard is very, very beautiful. He has managed very well, except one mistake, that he has planted barley in his field. Still, I like it. He has managed very well. You can judge from the feature of the trees and the cleanness of the orchard and the wall he has constructed around his orchard. He has spent too much money for construction of this wall. The labor cost is too high in Afghanistan. Nowadays, each labor takes 7,000 Afghanis per day in this area. Each labor daily takes 7,000 Afghanis.
And 3 times meal.
See?
My
friend says not only 7,000 Afghanis, 3 times food also, including 3 times food. If we include this food, we said it may become around 13,000 Afghanis per day. It is very, very labor cost is very, very high in this province. This guy who has constructed this huge wall may have spent maybe 5 or 6 million Afghanis on construction of this wall. And this is the process going on in Afghanistan. Everything very, very expensive. Cost of labor is very huge. And any step you take, you pay too much. And that is, one should accept these things, otherwise he cannot work.
Yaptım size çatal oynamış oldum. Önce kabalak mı? Şöyle mi yapıyorsun? Ne vakit daha o kadar müzik kurtulmuş
Do you see the superiority of our fruit trees? On the first years of plantation, it has produced fruit. See, this is a summer type of fruit tree found in Afghanistan. It originates from the United States of America. It's excellent variety, but it has produced fruit within the first year of transplantation. And that's why this year, whoever seen this apple, they have come to our employees to provide this sort of apple, hundreds of fruit trees. I don't know whether we can supply that much fruit trees that people are demanding for it. But it seems very excellent. Now, on the first years of plantation, producing this much fruit, it is something extraordinary. It should be remembered, it should be stated that even though this tree looks healthy and has produced this much fruit while it is very small, but it has a dangerous disease. It's called scale. It is this white spot on the plant. It is a scale, a disease. It is scale. It is very dangerous. It needs the chemical to be sprayed. Otherwise, next year this plant will be dried. This is very dangerous insect. It sucks up all the juice in the plant. If this insect is present on the plant, then the skin will be very, very dry. The plant will not grow much, and after a few years it dries completely. And this is why plant protection measure is the most important step of orchard development. And there is a proverb in Afghanistan that generally fathers express for their sons. They say, first build a house, then start to marry. And in Afghanistan, this has become a proverb that first provide plant protection measures, then construct orchards. Otherwise, these insects and pests will destroy your orchard even though you spend too much money. This is example of an orchard constructed by farmer himself. The fruit trees are not taken from ARA. The design is not made by us. You see, they have not regarded any scientific principles. The spacings are not true. Here, you see, peach tree is planted between the rows of these mulberries, and this is not good principle of fruit tree production. Every tree should be in a row. You see, they are in disorder manner, irregular manner. This is unscientific orchard. The transplantation process is not good. In the future, every space is occupied by trees. Now you see, if you utilize any tractor for plowing this land, this peach tree will prohibit movement of tractor within this area. And the area should be multiple of the width of the tractor. You see, here this is not followed. And this agricultural equipment cannot move within these rows of fruit trees. Since the rows are very near, and when tractor comes across here, then this tree will be destroyed, or tractor cannot move at all. Oh, what's the one?
بازی را پیوند میکنه. این سال وقت این وقت پیوند میکنه.
Now still we are in Shan Qishlaq of the village belonging to Ashan. This orchard is developed by our employees. You see it is designed well, and all the principles are followed well. They have managed well, but the only mistake they have made, they have grown wheat in this field. That's why the plants look suppressed. They have not grown vigorously, and it looks a little little. It has not grown well. This is due to the shortcoming that there has not been enough air movement around the stem, and also more light has not contacted the leaves in the stem, and also there have been competition for water and nutrients between plants and wheat. This is the main important problem, and the increase of relative humidity around the stem that encourages the diseases and pests in the plant. That's why all the plants are living. No one is damaged, no one is dried or failed, but they are small, they have not grown larger. This is the reason that we cannot supply financial budget, something cash for the farmers, so that they should not plant any other crop in their fields and just manage their orchard. This is the problem. Otherwise, they would not have planted here. Just they may have planted vegetables or melons, watermelons, and their plants would have grown very normal. This guy is encouraged too much. He says, I will plant fruit trees in the remainder portion of his land. Maybe it is around 20 GDs of land. Now he is requesting for maybe around 1,000 fruit trees from us, since he is encouraged and he wants the remainder portion of his land to be transformed into orchards. Do you see this huge area of land, maybe around 5 acres or maybe 10 acres of land? This guy, owner of this orchard, is encouraged too much. Now he is requesting us for supplying so many fruit trees to transform all this area with fruit trees. This is around 7 acres. It requires around 1,000 fruit trees. I promised him to supply 1,000 fruit trees for him. And we construct his orchard and design his orchard in the fall. silver liquid in Eshon Khishlaq. This is the sample of our plantation in the family houses. As you remember, our plan was supplying fruit trees or transplantation in orchards, house yards, family houses, and rehabilitation of old orchards. This is one of the family houses that is being newly constructed. These fruit trees are transplanted here for the purpose of providing fruit trees for the families. This is the most important portion of the project. This is very important and useful for housewives, since they cannot go out freely to the orchards outside, since they are very secret. They cover their faces with moss, and here they walk freely and make use of the fruit in their house yard or in their houses. This is for us, for the families. This section is the most important part of the project. It has very, very high significance for housewives. These operations of vegetable production is also carried out by housewives, and anything being done in this within this charter of the houses, all of them are done by housewives. The irrigation measures and provision of fertilizer, as well as picking up fruit trees, all of the operations are being carried out by housewives in these areas. Hundreds of such type of house yards and family houses, in which maybe more than 50,000 fruit trees from ARA nursery is transplanted by our expenses. But we cannot go to every house. It is very difficult. If we go, maybe it takes 2-3 months for such detailed monitoring. And these are some samples we take and we offer it to you. رأس الشخصولو برا آلوش ندنی یک قطع کردی آلوش پیوان شده شخصولو ای آلوی فارموساست This is another sample of tree that is infested heavily with aphids. You see these ants are moving down and up for the purpose of extracting sugar from these aphids. You see this is very dangerous insect. These leaves are rolled up, and after a few weeks maybe it dries and fall down. And we are looking for spraying these trees. Nowadays we have very limited amount of chemicals. We cannot spray all of these trees. Hopefully within a month we will transfer chemicals and insecticides and sprayers from Peshawar to Takhar city, and we will start spraying these fruit trees. This is very, very common everywhere we go in Takhar. This aphid infestation is too common, and it cannot be treated without using chemicals. This is a sophisticated variety of almond originated in the United States of America and imported to Afghanistan. And this is quite rare, but there was one tree in Kunduz province We transferred soil from Kunduz to Taliban City. We grafted fruit trees, and they are very, very useful. They are very costly, and it has much resistance to coldness. It can resist freezing temperature, and it's a very useful variety. Since each year it produces fruit, but other varieties, local varieties in Afghanistan, they are superior in quality than this, but they are more sensitive to cool temperature. And in some regions, 50% of the almond is destroyed by cool temperature. But this variety resists. This is why people like it. We have propagated this variety too much in our nursery in Taliban City. And people are requesting too frequent to provide this variety of almonds for them. It looks very beautiful, and furthermore it is resistant to the diseases and pests. You see, this is quite normal, growing vigorously. No sign of infestation with disease or insect can be seen in this one. It's quite normal plant. Now we are located in another village in the neighborhood of Taliban City. This is called Puliqaq, or as English it can be expressed as dried bridge. But you see, this is a small orchard, but he has planted in very, very orderly manner. He has utilized all principles we have instructed. This is actually constructed by our employees. And the spacing is regarded completely, no mistake in this one. But you see, some plants are dried due to high amount of irrigation water. These are some sensitive kinds of almonds that cannot resist high amount of water. You see, he has followed good principle since he has planted clover in his field. There is onions and vegetables planted. He has not planted barley or wheat or corn. You see, all plants are very healthy. The leaves looks normal, and it is not thick. And just a minute ago, we showed to you there, those orchards where barley or wheat were grown. They were not good. There were much diseases and insects proliferating in the orchard. This guy is encouraged too much by construction of this orchard. And that is why he is planning, organizing this field, huge field around 2 acres of land, to make it orchard next year. This huge land you see in front of you, he has constructed that wall. He has spent too much money. That is for the purpose of construction of orchard, nothing else. I would check this one.
Abi!
Still we are in Puliqaq area, or dried bridge village, and he has constructed a good apple orchard over here. He has transplanted too many fruit trees in his orchard, but he has made one mistake, that he has not regarded our advice concerning the spacing. First, our employees have advised him, and they have planted for him in 8 meters one apple tree. Spacing between 2 apple trees have been 8 meters. But after they have finished, they have gone out, this guy himself has planted 2 more apples between 2 apples. You see, he has made the spacing too near to each other. This is something that he has done out of order. This is not correct. This spacing is very near to each other. We don't want this spacing. But what for this guy has done this, has followed this principle. He has saved some fruit tree for the transformation of that sort of this land to the apple orchard. And that's why he has procured more fruit trees from ARA, and he has transplanted here in near space. Next year, or maybe on the 3rd year, he transfer this tree from here to that space, to that land to which onions are planted. And if he says now, right now, he says that is his purpose, that's why he has planted very near. But we don't know whether this is his purpose or not. But I think maybe it's true that he will transplant it to that section. Then the spacing becomes correct. But other principles are true, since he has planted in rows. Now from these 3 rows, 1 row must be removed. All fruit trees must be removed from this row in order the spacing between these 2 rows become right. And also 2 trees must be removed from 4 trees. 2 trees should be removed so that spacing between 2 trees becomes correct. Otherwise, these trees are near to each other. After 2 or 3 years, the branches will intermingle with each other. Then they compete for light. They will get disease and insects, and their roots will come near to each other. They compete for food, for nutrients, and for water. And this is something that all farmers should avoid. This is our advice. And I advise my extension workers and technical workers to tell to these farmers so that to avoid close spacing in the future. Otherwise, they will not have better results from their orchard. But anyway, this looks beautiful. And in the beginning, when these orchards are transplanted technically, in one that all the principles are regarded, it does not look so beautiful, since fruit trees are widely spaced. But this one, this orchard, you see, it looks very beautiful, since the plants are near to each other. You can see green plants too often. Everybody like it, even in picture or in video camera. It looks very much beautiful. But actually, for us, it is not something good. But when they become 3 years old, then a widely spaced the fruit trees, they will look more beautiful. But this nearly spaced fruit trees, they will touch each other and they will cover all the area. No sunlight will contact the land surface, and maybe if they grow vegetables or something else, it cannot grow, since there will be limitation of sunlight. Then vegetables and other crops under these trees will not grow. But in widely spaced orchards, sunlight will be ample, and for a very, very long time, grasses, clover, alfalfa, anything can be grown for the use of as forage for animals. But this is our advice for the farmers, that they should regard our spacing. That we tell them not to plant 2 apple trees less than 8 meters apart. But by themselves, in the beginning, they accept our advice. But when we leave the project, then they plant 2 more fruit trees between 2 plants that we have transplanted. But anyway, I like this orchard. Since it is planted in rows, it looks very beautiful. So far, I have not seen any newly developed orchard in which there is no pest infestation. You see, this is infested with the same aphid we saw so frequently in other orchards. This is the most important problem we are facing, that this amount of chemical we are planning to utilize in this area, I think it is not sufficient, and particularly next year it requires much precaution, that much chemical and sprayers should be supplied. It needs a separate huge project for this province. Otherwise, these pests and diseases are very, very common in Takhar province. That is a great danger for our fruit trees and for the other orchards we are planning to establish in the future, particularly in November, December or October this year. Now we are located in another village called Khaskapa. There is another technically constructed orchard. You see they are planted in rows. He has planted more than 100 fruit trees in this area. Maybe the area is more than 1 acre of land. He has utilized technical principle, but still he has planted nearly space than what we had advised. And he will be happy for 2-3 years that he has much fruit trees. The land will be covered by plants, but after 5 or 10 years we may have some complaints from low production capacity. This is a family orchard. He has planted different kinds of fruit trees here, including pears, apples, peaches, plums, walnuts. He wants all kinds of fruit trees to be produced from this area for his family. It's not for commercial purpose. And this is housewives make the most use from this orchard. Small orchards are for the purpose of family use, and operations are carried out by family wives, and the fruit will be used more profoundly by housewives. And thereby their health situation, their future will be improved more effectively.
Servieron que cero, mal servieron.
Still we are in Khaskapa. This is a wild apple tree. This is not grafted. This is not from our project. This is locally produced by these people. You see, it is not grafted. There is 4 trees grown from the same place. It is absolutely wrong. Just one stem is needed to arise from the land, and one of them should become the tree. This is a very wrong principle. This is the job of our extension workers to advise these people. And first, it should be grafted. Each one should be grafted. And the second, these should be removed. Just one should be left here. Third, this guy has bind 2 stems in one place. Now, this becomes very heavy wind will move them too frequently, then it becomes too heavy and becomes vented. Now it is vented like this. It will not become a tree. It will lie down on the ground. Then it will not produce yield. If it produces yield, all of them will be taken by children, and no use of this tree. And you see it is infested with so much diseases. These suckers must be removed, and these ants are looking for some excretions of the aphids. They are running down and up, and this is a very wrong type of practice to thrust on these suckers on the ground. This is a mature apricot tree, and this is not our fruit tree. Maybe it is 10 years or 15 years old, but you see how infested it is with the diseases and insects. This is not only infested with insects, but it is infested with a disease called shot hole. You see these holes on the leaves. This is affected by a kind of bacteria. This disease. But do you see aphids growing here? Then if we do not spray, do not remove diseases from these trees, then it will be transferred from this tree to that orchard. You see we have a newly built that orchard in the neighborhood of this tree. And that's why I stress too much on plant protection and utilization of chemical insecticides for the removal and combating these diseases and insect pests. Otherwise, if we do not take care of these trees and we do not relieve the problem, then these aphids will be moved by the wind on that trees we have newly planted. Then our work will be useless and our plants will be damaged. Actually, they were brought from the nursery very healthy. It is not our fault. Now, this is the reason that these fruit trees are infested with diseases and pests. It will be transferred to our trees, and it is not our fault, but anyway it is our responsibility to solve the problem. Since if we do not solve the problem, if we do not spray these trees, then for sure our newly planted trees will be infested with the same diseases, and they are very dangerous. You see the situation of these trees, they will not grow longer. All the juice and in this tree will be absorbed, will be sucked by these trees, and they will not grow longer, and the growth of our trees will be affected more and more. Maybe in the future some of them will dry, and the result will be something nonsense. And that's why we are stressing too much on plant protection measures.
Let me hear you. Definitely.
Now we are in the Bodam Dara. Bodam Dara is near to the Solokhan city. Now we are in the Haji Abdul Zahir land. The total area of this established the orchard more than 3 acres. They have all of these trees have transferred from our nursery. You can see these orchards. They planted different variety of trees, peach, plum, pears, apples, and so on. These trees also planted by our instruction, our employee, but when the own employee listed here, the own farmer, they bring some modification in this his garden, because they planted very near, the species very near, maybe after 2-3 years, this is still the computation become very high. The trees become also very long, but that time is not good. But maybe we try to in the new year to shifting some trees to near to another area. Maybe they develop it, the orchard, the next year to that remains portion of the area. Also, you can see here they are also planted here clover. Also in this area also, because they not planted some cultivated plant like barley, wheat, and some another varieties, because the clover and alfalfa is good for the growing in the plants, because this alfalfa and clover, they fix in the nitrogen, they have contributed for the growing of the plants. Yeah, see here this portion, they have bring it from our nursery, they have planted, but that another portion you can see here, this is the old orchard they planted the last year. We compare this area from that area, because this plant bring it from our nursery, the growth is very good. Also they growing very vigorously. Also, they're not infested by diseases and so on. All these peaches, they have transparent from our nursery, but you can see here is some modification bring by his own farmer. You see this row and that row. They planted one another here, but then when they plow it, also they smoothing the land, they may bring some problem for him, because there is the tree, they may not contribute it for the plowing, some another thing. But also this portion, in this row and that row, to compare it, this is the distance from that plant to this plant is very enough, because there is more spacing and the plant become high, there is the computation become very high. Also they contributing for the taking nutrient and water in from the land.
سلام علیکم.
وعلیکم السلام. چال دارید؟ بخیر هستید؟ سلامت هستین؟
بخیر.
اسم عبدالسلام هستیم. ما باغوان هستیم. باغوان داملا ظاهر هستیم.
داملا ظاهر هم صاحب همی باغ.
بله صاحب باغ هستیم.
شما دم اینجا
ما اینجا صاحب هستیم.
قسمی که دیده میشه دم اینجا خانه فامیلی دیده میشه. شما همینجا زندگی میکنید؟
بله صاحب زندگی میکنیم صاحب. همه باغا را صاحب ما خودم صاحب
آبیاری
میکنیم.
شما میکنید؟
بله صاحب ما خودم.
شب روز همینجا زندگی
شب روز همینجا هستیم.
خب شما فعلا چی مشکلات دارین در قسمت نیالا؟
نیالا صاحب از مشکلاتی صاحب دیگه نمی باز مرضای همه چیز است صاحب دیگه.
شک و
رقمی صاحب بیشتر مشکلات هستیم دیگه.
بله؟
امراض نباتی صاحب رقمی صاحب باز کرما صاحب مشکلات.
به خاطر جلوگیری از در کدام جای مراجعه کردین در پروژه یا در کدام شعبه که وظیفه از اینا کنترل امراض
داملا ظاهر گفته بودیم که شما برین ما اینجا وظیفه دار هستیم، شما برین که شکایت بکنین که از خبر رسیدیم که رفتن
شما خبر دیگه نتیجهش برای شما نگفتن؟
نه آمده صاحب.
باید آمد بگین که در پروژه که نیالا را گرفته اونجا یک دفعه مراجعه بکنه، اونجا اگر پرسان کنه اگر دوا داشتن برایشان میته، اگر نداشتن برایشان نسخه میته، از بازار دوا بخرن بیارن دوا.
سبا صاحب دیگه ما باز او تعقیب میکنیم.
او سلام مردم بگین که نبگین متخصصین رئیس پروژه اینجا آمده بودن، از نزدیک باغ دیدن و عکاسی کردن و بسیار خوشی کردن، ولیکن در رشته امراض و جلوگیری امراض حشرات حتما گفتن مراجعه بکنن دوا پاشی بکنن.
ما شما را میگم صاحب
خدا موفقیت شما را میخوایم.
ما خدا سپردیم صاحب.
The farmers, they want some chemical insecticide, also some sprayer, because we see so many trees they infested by the diseases, aphids, insects and so on. Also, they needed some chemical insecticide also for the sprayer also for the this. We need some more contribution from Australian government to help us to in the next time we to give them some medicine sprayer to the farmer to utilize it from this for the destroy of the diseases. این هم باید تو آخری میخوانه You can see here the last year this farmer they have planted some local variety. They transferred this not from our nursery, they transferred it from another area. You can see here there is no considered about the distance, about the any technical responsibility. But we now we compare of this, we build another orchard to compare this the old orchard to new orchard because we want to consider it the distance between plant and between row. But you can see, but there is so many, maybe distance between one plant to another plant, 1.5 meter and 2 meters. When the plant has become very growing, they become big. But there is a contribution of lot and also become very least between two variety, also between two roots. You can see here, this is one mistake they made, had made by the farmer earlier, and we want to remove this some plants. The plant is very nearly the next year to transfer it to another area to establish it a good orchard regarding the technical in our advance.